It's a beautiful afternoon out there, and I bid you a warm welcome to the studios of Poly TV Ilaro. It's time once again for that your daily tonic. We call it the newspaper review and analysis. I am Femi Afolabi, and I have seated with me a regular face on this program. We call him the P.R.O of the institution, Mr. Shola Abiala, the Deputy Registrar, Protocols and Public Relations. You're welcome to.
Good afternoon, as usual. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. And today, the newspapers, as variants at that day, they come with different headlines. Some were talking about economy, some talking about the national security, and of course, some talking about some other national issue. I'll begin with the headline of the Punch newspaper today. It's a very bold headline which says, fuel import spending crashes 54% to $6.7 billion. Fuel import spending crashes 54% to $6.7 billion. Mr. Biela, I think this is a very good omen for Nigeria.
I should think so.
Now that Nigeria is depending less on imported fuel, courtesy the Dangotes of this world, and of course all other minor or micro refineries we have around. Unlike in the years past when the bulk of our budget goes into settling debt on importation of fuel.
It's a good omen, like you said. Let me just share a joke. We were about traveling on December 31st. I forgot. I quickly told my boys that about be 20 liters metal saying motor so that we can buy fuel along the way. My wife said, "Enjoy let it to buy fuel." I think it's a very good omen. And as it crashes, I think it will definitely affect pricing. When I say pricing, it is not just fuel alone, because fuel has always been the bedrock and the benchmark for measuring the pricing of other commodities. Even though, despite all the reduction in prices, we are yet to really feel the full impact of the recent fuel prices downward slope. But with this one, when it is very, very sure that we are importing less now, if the petrol prices begin to nosedive down, no matter how, it will affect the general economy. It is a good news.
There's a popular saying that anything that goes up in Nigeria hardly
Nigeria is a country
down.
that defies law of gravity.
We're having price reduction as far as the cost of petrol is concerned. But the prices of goods and services continue to either remain constant or
still going up.
Or growing up.
That's what I'm saying. I said I hope that this the fall in the importation of something will affect the general economy. The problem is that, like I said, Nigeria's situation defies all logic, because when we say whatever goes up must come down, but in Nigeria whatever goes up keeps going up. Keeps going up. Because if we tackle them from the angle, they will tell you it has not come down. That one has not come down. But there will be a time that there wouldn't be a hiding place. If eventually, for instance, I pray, assuming we are buying petrol for 300 or 250 naira per liter now, and carrying passengers from New Garage to Ilaro remains 800 or 1,000 naira, people will begin to react. They begin to react. What is happening? So let's just pray that this one is real, and it once this one goes down like this, and they don't wage war against Dangote again. I'm telling you, it's like they have a way of doing all these things. By the time we think that we've solved this, another one will just come out from some other places. But with this, I hope that law will come to reality in Nigeria. Whatever goes up will come down.
Amen.
I'm very sure.
Amen. Okay, let's go to politics, and I'm taking off with the furore in Rivers State. The Punch sideline story says, impeachment storm. Fubara says no notice as 2 lawmakers pull out. We read in newspapers that 2 of the lawmakers that were championing his impeachment are backing out of the exercise. And of course, there are pressure groups now from Rivers State and of course the South, trying to reconcile the warring factions, as it were. So,
one thing about negotiation in peace, conflict resolution, is that the highest bidder will always come top. Immediately that thing starts, you will see that the heat will be on. And you can see that the man in question remains very, very calm. His calmness, dispensation outside, does not mean that he's not doing anything. We don't know the number of lawmakers that are involved in this something, but we had 2 is backing out. Before you know it, 3, 4, 5. It will go to a time that the number of those who are backing out will be more than those who are agitating. So if the person about to be impeached is saying that he hasn't received any notice of impeachment, that means nothing has been done. That means there hasn't been any agreement or solid agreement between the agitators. So the 2 that backed out, there will be other 2 or 3 that are silently backing out. Before you know it, the thing will die as it comes.
There are information that are flying around. Of course, some members of the National Assembly of Rivers State have claimed that those information were fake, that the Assembly is dropping the exercise, as it were. And of course, people are saying the national structure of the APC should do something concrete. And people are even drawing the attention of Mr. President on it, that we should resolve it before the heat gets out of this thing.
Rumor in Nigeria is a very strong weapon. When the things start coming, you'll be saying, rumor. But behind that, there will be not just an iota, but a big volume of truth there. Before they start saying all those things, there will have been things that they've noticed. And that when anything starts in Nigeria, just like a normal individual, if you have a plan in mind, you want to do something, the enthusiasm with which you start it in the first instance will either be gaining momentum or dropping down, depending on what you are getting. By the time there will be reasons for the impeachment plan in the first instance. And that means there are 2 warring factors, A and B. A is the one trying to impeach B, and is the one propagating so many things. So by the time B too starts to win people this side from that side, everything will calm down. So the assembly will not tell you, has there been any time when a news will come out about neither national or state assembly that they will accept that it is true. They won't accept until it is done on every one of us that, and we've been hearing these things since. So the fact remains that what will be will still be. I still believe that this impeachment something will go nowhere.
Okay, let's move forward.
We'll go nowhere.
We're still on Punch newspaper, and of course to some other story of interest. There's a story at the footnote of the front page of the Punch newspaper, which is 21,000 unregistered refugees in Nigeria. It borders on insecurity that we are talking about.
Yes.
That story is credited to the United Nations. 21,000 unregistered refugees.
21,000 unregistered. Sorry if I may speak Yoruba again. Wọ́n ní pé ọ̀rọ̀ tá bá gbọ́ lẹ́nu akúwárápá ara ọ̀run ló ń sọ. You know, US knows about Nigeria more than Nigeria.
United Nations.
I want to tell you, UN. They have the indices, they have the data, they have everything. This is a country where the same data you use for driver's license. We use it for electoral card, election card. What do we call it? We use it for NIN. We use everything. And each time you even want to get common ID card, you go and recapture again. So that means we don't have data. So whatever they tell you, it is outsiders that know us better. So if UN is telling us that they are about 21,000, I believe it is even more, because they want to base their own analysis on fact. That is the one they see. Ṣebí bandits that enter through the normal reason that we see. Àwọn tó bandits tó ti ń bá wa gbé láti inú ilé ńkọ́. I think we are in serious problem vis-a-vis the security situation in Nigeria. In every, look at those these aluminium people. How are we sure they are not bandits? Those ones that if you go to your community around 10, 11, 12, you see them. Someone was coming out of my own area around 6 a.m. with a bag full of things that when did he enter? And for how long has he been there that he has been able to pack full that big these things? So this number, I believe, let's say even it is even times 2 or times 3 of unregistered. They are here.
So, only God will save us in Nigeria. We're moving forward. We're talking Vanguard now. Vanguard headline story on the front page says, how manufacturing sector can grow in 2026. That story is by some experts. And one of the writers to that story says, effective execution of new tax law, incentive critical.
Yes, because according to that new tax law, the more you earn, the more you pay in tax. The higher your income or the higher the money that enters into your account, the more tax you pay, provided you did not corner us with your narration. You know, there's this that if you put a proper narration, there may not be tax on that thing. But you know, Nigeria was very clever. We will form narrations. Even the money that is meant to be taxable might not be taxable, because they've given us a loophole through which we can dodge tax.
But I don't think the tax or implementers of that policy will want to rely on
the narration.
That platform narration.
I hope so. That's why I say I hope so. Because in this situation, if this new tax law is implemented to the letter, I think I want to agree with the experts who say
issue of tax administration and tax law, it will generate money to the purse of the government.
Yes.
But we are talking manufacturing. How do manufacturing? How will they grow
now,
this year?
You see, when it will grow, because if this tax law is implemented accordingly, do you know when these things are not implemented? Do you know the type of taxes? What do they call it? Illegal taxes they collect. For me to come and speak here now, assuming it is a commercial something, and I'm the one who wants to actually wanted to be seen on TV. Do you know how many Baba Bokwemi that I will be dropping at every this thing? But if that is harmonized, and they know that, of course, if I am told that I will pay 10,000 naira to get this done officially, if I pay it officially, I know that everything is normal. But in a situation where I was told that I would just pay 2,000 naira, I get to bank this sporty, I pay 2. I get to another, I pay 500. I get to another. Before you know it, my son was offered an admission to do masters in one institution. I won't want to mention the name. So when the school fees came out, my wife was jubilating. I told her that, this thing that they are telling you might not be. Before the boy could finish registration, we have spent times 3 of what was stated in the admission letter. So how do we go about that? But if it were to be as this tax reform, if they are implementing the way it should be implemented, once you see a bill, you know that is how much you are going to pay. It's either you agree to pay it and go ahead with what you want to do, or refuse. But in the days past, They will tell you it's 10 naira and you end up paying 10,000 naira.
All right. We're still talking economy, and we're moving forward to the front page of the nation's newspaper. Nigeria, United Arab Emirates seal deal on trade, agri, and manufacturing. We're still talking economy. Now that Nigeria and United Arab Emirates are embarking on more bilateral talks and trade relations, I think this is telling us that the frequent trips of Mr. President outside the country to shop for private investors are yielding results now.
Yes, yes, and more so from the UAE perspective. I begin to respect that part of the world because when we were growing up, we were told that that place is a desert.
It's a desert.
And now, there are thicker forests in the desert than we have in our own distance. So if they could manage their own economy and some other things, and we are in partnership with them, I think it's a good omen. And so the travelings, so many travelings of the president, definitely, if it's not just gallivanting around the globe for nothing, we begin to see it. We begin to see. I believe something positive will come out of it. So.
Still with the Nation newspaper, federal government proposes 1.38 trillion naira for pensions this year. There's this lot of crises and who and cry that the pensioners were not given their dues. Some that were lucky to have been paid were receiving the pensions far over and below expectation.
Yes, and that is the, I'm an old man now, growing old.
Are you?
In the next few years,
you?
Don't you think so? Should I open this and you see the amount of gray hairs that is? And jokes apart, whether you are old or not, if you've put in some number of years in the civil service, and don't forget that the pension we're talking about is contributory. It's like I am saving for my retirement. Government will pay half, I will pay half. And if at the end of the day I retire and I begin to suffer, God forbid, it's something that is it's annoying. It is something that they put fears into the minds of will-be retirees. Because assuming it is not even contributory now, they will say, after all, shaggy logbe, tagolofa, ugbenu, nídìí ọ̀pẹ, ugbenu sókè. But I have shaggy logbe. Definitely, I must get money. So, and we'll be hearing so many. I think the problem we are having is with the PFA, the Pension Fund Administrators. Something is there that is not open to us. We used to hear sometimes ago that if you can maybe request to withdraw about 25% of your fund before retirement. But later we heard that if you have about 5 years or less to retire, then you don't have access to such things. Assuming I've been collecting my money small. By the time I am retired, I will have used that money to do something. 10,000 naira of today will be much more valuable than 100,000 naira of a week or 2 weeks time. So that is the problem we are facing. If government wants to be serious about this, I think there should be a binding law for any PFA that refuses to do the normal. As at the time somebody retires, it's by the time you are retired, you can't do anything again. You cannot even start business. So they said that if you want the business you want to do in a retirement age, you should have started it while in service. How do you start it now? When you have already pulled your money into that thing that will give you something after retirement, and the money is there, they keep on showing you, this is your balance, this is your balance. At times, I even laugh. My balance this month might be high. By the time I get it in next 2 months, it will be lower than what I got 3 weeks ago. When you get it, it's an error, They say they will calculate it. That is even when I'm in service. When I'm out of service, how do I get all these things? So I think government should put up an enabling law, positive to any PFA who goes outside the law.
Well, I hope government will do just that. I'm going back to politics and this border on 2027. Let's look at a minor story on the front page of the Punch newspaper. 2027, APC targets 9 million registered members. Opposition kicks. Why I'm bringing that report? APC is targeting quite a number of 9 million, whereas the oppositions are kicking. Why are they kicking?
I don't know.
Shouldn't they be preparing at least to mop up the unregistered members of the society for their benefit?
If not because we are on air, I will have told you that I don't want to talk about 2027 in 2026 because anything can see. There's nothing there. That's what I'm saying. I don't see any reason why anybody. If I tell you that next year I'm going to buy a limousine, I think what you also do is that you want to buy something bigger than my own.
I want to buy a jet.
A jet. So stop kicking about what I want to do. That's my own plan. That's what I want. If they're saying they are targeting, and after all, what is the total population of voters in Nigeria? Is it 18 million? Is it 20 million? So if you are targeting just 9, you can target 15. Let the other one target whatever, and see how it goes. But they know more than we do. That whatever that is behind F.U.T.I is more than AJ. They know that 9 million. They understand. No, nothing about sorrow. Do you understand? No. Igilogolanga, you don't.
We're going to Daily Trust now. The major story promoted on the front page of the Daily Trust says Katsina, fresh attacks amidst bandits release plan. Just yesterday we heard that the Katsina state government plans to release about 90 suspected, or is it suspected now, 90 suspected bandits fully back into the society.
For integration
into the society. And as that plan is on, another
attack.
Of attack has happened. But I know that the current architecture of the Nigerian army doesn't approve
the
release of bandits or negotiation or whatever. Where are we going? What is happening?
Well, I wanted to say before we started the program that if any story on bandits come, I will not answer it because you are already turning me into a bandit too. About 3 or 4 times I've heard we've talked about banditry.
Because the national narrative.
Be that as it may, if somebody has been identified as a thief and is put behind the bars, and you are now saying because of peace and whatever, you want to release such a thief. Do you know that when a criminal is detained, he is released much more hardened because he will have come in contact with criminals of higher grades than him. Why there? These are people that have been recognized as terrorists, bandits, disturbing the peace of the community. And you are saying that you want to release and integrate them. Since the time we've been negotiating with bandits, have there been any positive whatever? Remember during those days in higher institutions when they would tell cultists to come and renounce cultism and they would drop their weapons. What will happen the following year? The number of cultists you get will almost times 3 of the numbers that surrendered. I don't know if there is nothing hidden, if there is no hidden agenda in this release. Why is it that every time we want to negotiate for peace, we say the first thing to do is to release terrorists, to release troublemakers? Bale is selling Igbo, Ìyàwó is selling Ogogoro, the children are doing Omolile láàrin Ìgboro, and you are saying there should be peace. Are we not already looking for issue? If we release these ones, they are identified. They've been confirmed as bandits. Whatever we want to do to them, I think the peace of the community, the security of the community should take preeminence. Is it these people, when you release them, how are we sure that they will not go back? I don't know.
I think there should be a national position. Of course, there is a position of the current federal government that government will not negotiate with
The terrorists or
terrorists,
bandits.
and the armed forces as seriously implementing that policy. But of course, you get different perspective from states, because Katsina State, for instance,
Has been a bed of hotbed of controversy when it comes to banditry. I'm sorry.
well, it is left for government to do the needful. We will be rounding up with this international story. Trump threatens airstrike on Iran as protest death hit 600. That is on the front page. The footnote on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Trump threatens airstrike on Iran as protest death hits 600. My worry is that Mr. Trump is believed to be the policeman
Police
of the world. And everywhere he's threatening, whether people are protesting against him or against his policy. Last week he was talking about action on Morocco, on Mexico, on Cuba, and of course Turkey, because they don't support what is happening in Venezuela.
Dollarization of petrodollar, whatever, in Venezuela. You see, I don't know. The right word is what you said. It's Mr. Trump, the police of the world. Why is it that he feels that he should be the one to call me and my wife? There will be a time that he will come and wade into the crisis between me and my wife. He tell me it's either I do this or I don't. You see, in as much as I don't want to go against what he is doing, if it is with good intention, but at least I keep on saying it. Every community, every country, every state is supposed to be sovereign, supposed to be independent. There is a little of external interventions in a domestic affairs. Iraq, Iran, we are no longer small children. We've seen how US has been dealing with such things. But have there been any positive impact thereafter? That is the question.
Unfortunately, the United Nations, that's supposed to be the rallying point for every nations of the world, doesn't have power over him.
Yeah, United Nations is for me to say, is under United States.
Well, on that note, we want to wrap up today's edition of Newspaper Review and Analysis. I want to sincerely thank you for finding time to be here again.
I won't accept that, because the last time you promised to give me my Nkondu, still now you are thanking me for coming.
No.
Where is the, you know?
Let me give you your measure. I've sent it into your phone.
Because I did it last time?
Yes.
Don't worry. We'll see again. Thank you for listening to us.
All right. Thank you very much. We will be back.
All right.
With another production very soon. Bye.